Yes, you can't call everybody a friend. And be careful who you consider a friend. You might think somebody's your friend, but a lot of times that person ain't really your real friend, and you'll find that out. As you get older, as you experience life, you'll get into hardships, and that's when you find out who's your real friend. Your real friend, a real friend, will help you in any type of situation if they can. You know, and if a real friend cannot help you in a situation, they will explain themselves, and you'll definitely sense that. Oh, if they could have really helped you, they would have, but they're not in a position to. You know a real friend, you know a fake friend, and there's different levels of friendship. There's your acquaintances who you gossip with. Then there's your in between friends who they're not exactly your ride or die friends, but they'll they can help you out in certain situations when it's convenient for them. They're not your ride or die friends, but they're like 75% to being your ride or die friends, but they're not quite there. Then you have your ride or die friends who will help you or try to help you in any situation. You know, their ride or die friends will sacrifice actually to help you out. You know, if you're homeless, your ride or die friend will let you stay at their place rent free, won't kick you out just because you weren't helping out with the rent or whatever. And I have a situation, right? I was cool with this dude, whatever. He's supposed to be my friend, and he let me stay at his apartment for a little bit. And my stay at his apartment was only for a month and a half. It definitely was supposed to be a longer stay. But check this out. He ended up kicking me out after a month and a half. He ended up kicking me out, and he basically said that if I come up with $400 or so, then I can come back and live with him. That's what he basically said to me. And this is someone who's supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to be my friend, and you're kicking me out of your apartment after a month and a half. And you're basically saying, if I come up with enough money, I can come back. But if I'm your true friend, if I'm your true friend, right? Even if I do not have any money, you should still let me stay at your place if I'm a true friend, right? If I'm if I have a place, right, and I claim someone's my true friend and they're living with me, I'm not gonna kick out my true friend because he doesn't have any money at the current moment. Like if I'm really riding with someone and I care for someone and I'm that person's friend, I'm gonna want to help that person in any type of circumstance, right? And check this out. When I was living with this person, I was barely in their apartment. I was barely inside the house. You know, I'll only be at this apartment, my so-called friend's apartment, a couple times, like 3 times out of a week. You know, I'll only be in the apartment like three times out of a week. And the few days I would stay, at the apartment during the week, the few times I would stay there during the week, I'll only be in there for a few hours. I'll sleep for like 5 hours. I'll sleep for a few hours in the apartment, like 4 hours, wake up, take a shower, then I'm out of the house, out of the apartment for the rest of the day. So it's not like I'm taking up space in the apartment. I was barely in the apartment, you know, and I gave my friend, my so-called friend, a whole lot of space. I wasn't walking around the apartment. I wasn't invading his space. Like I said earlier, I was barely in the apartment. So like, and he still kicked me out. So like, I guess that person's not my real friend, you know. And bro, I was fucking homeless. I was homeless for several months. I got evicted from my apartment due because I was behind on rent. But my friend, he knows my situation. He knows I was homeless, and you're gonna kick out your homeless. You're gonna kick out. You're gonna kick out your friend who you know was homeless, so he could be homeless again. You claim to be someone's true friend, right? You have a friend who's homeless. You let him stay at your house for a little bit, then you kick him out of your apartment so he can be homeless again. How can you kick out your true friend so he can be homeless again? And you know he's been homeless a couple times. He's been on the streets, and he's been living in certain shelters, and you're kicking him out so he can live that experience again? That's not no true friend. That's not no true friend. And when I was staying at the place, he said to me a few times. He keeps saying to me, "Hey, I don't got to do this for you. I don't got to help you. I don't got to help you." A true friend is never going to say that. A true friend is never going to say that to you, that they don't have to do this. You should be lucky I'm doing this for you. I don't got to do this for you. I'll never tell that to my true friend, someone I claim to be my friend. I don't got to do this for you. Nigga, if you're my friend, you should want to do this. And you'll never put it in my face that I don't got to do this for you. You should be lucky I'm doing this. A true friend's not going to say that to you. Everyone, I'm even wondering, do true friends even exist nowadays? Do true friends even exist nowadays? Do they? Man, motherfuckers nowadays are so selfish. They're for themselves. Everyone's just so selfish and for themselves. And I remember my first day. I came to my friend's apartment. The first day I moved in with him. Literally the first day I came into that motherfucker. He's gonna say to me, "Do you have a shelter you can go to?" My first day, I just got done being homeless. You know my situation. You know I've been homeless for several months, right? My first day in there, You're gonna ask me, do you have a show? Do you think there's any shelter that you can go to? My first day, I just got out from being homeless, and my first day at your house, you're trying to kick me back out to be homeless, and you ain't no fucking real friend. And this whole situation, I really don't give a fuck. Like, I just let people do them, but I always see the truth. I see the real. If I peep someone's not a real friend, I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm just gonna peep game and just stop fucking with that person. You feel me? If I was someone's friend and I knew my friend was homeless, I could never kick out my friend from my house to be homeless for my friend to be homeless again, especially only after a month and a half. I could understand I was in your place for like a year, 6 months. I was only in your place for a month and a half, sparingly in your place for a month and a half. Like I was barely in the apartment for only a month and a half, and you kicked me out that easily. My first day in your apartment, you asking me, "Hey, you're asking me, do you have a shelter you can go to?" Okay, whatever. Then I remember me and the dude, we had a conversation. We had a conversation, and he was insinuating that I'm still homeless and that me staying at his place it's just a little temporary thing for a couple months. Like man, if I'm fuck with somebody like that, if I claim someone's my friend and I just accepted them in my house and I know they've been homeless, I would never just say, "Oh, this is just a temporary thing. You're only gonna be here for a couple of months. It's just temporary." Man, get that bullshit out of here, man. If I'm somebody's real friend and I fuck with somebody heavy, in my mind, in my heart, you can stay in my house for as long as you want to. And when I'm staying with him, when I was living in his place, he was still saying he was trying to say I'm still homeless. He was like, "You still he said out his mouth, like, man, you still homeless. You still homeless." He was still trying to label me homeless when I was living at his place. So he really wasn't trying to let me stay at his place like that. And fuck that nigga. He not my fucking friend. Fuck that shit, nigga. Yeah, my fucking friend, man. All right, peace.